Well, we will call the meeting to order at 2 o'clock. The St. Cloud Metropolitan Transit Commission, let the record reflect that all of the commissioners are here. And we will see if there are any additions or changes to the agenda.
We just have one addition, the Teamsters.
The what?
Well, it's on there. It's number 10.
Oh, never mind.
So, so none? All right, is there a motion?
I did tell Kelly that. Yeah.
So moved. Second.
Just a step
Approve
ahead
the
of her.
second. Discussion. Being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, it carries. Consent agenda, the items 5 through 8.
Move to approve.
Second.
So motion to approve second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that's adopted. Open forum, anybody here for the open forum or online? No? And we will move on to general business. Item number 9, consideration of policy updates. 9.5, leave of absence without pay.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. One policy update. Basically, the changes are just to accurately reflect what we are actually doing with this policy. Right now, it's listed as a leave of absence without pay, when in reality, there could be people who have exhausted FMLA but still have sick and vacation time available, which would be considered pay. So renaming it to extended leaves of absence for that reason, and then doing some other clarification with the language. Any questions?
Questions on that? Is there a motion to?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the item? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Are we almost done with all those policy updates?
No, I'm going to be bringing a lot of policy
Are ya?
updates in the next couple of months,
Okay.
actually.
No, I know, I did, just, that's fine.
Yeah, there's several state auditor things that are going to be changing, so I'll be bringing several.
Okay,
The overall review of like the personnel policies is pretty much complete. I have a couple that still need to be written that we have not had in place yet, but other than changes to law,
Yeah.
which will happen, the overall review is done.
okay.
All right, I was in the middle of that vote, so all those in favor?
Oh, I thought we passed it.
Thank you for the nose, yeah. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This is where you come in now.
Oh, now I'm in, now I'm in, okay.
All right, that passes.
I didn't want anybody to turn it down.
Oh, okay. All right, item number 10, ratification of Teamsters Collective Bargaining Agreement 2023 through 2026.
Good afternoon again. We met with our Teamsters group. I think we had 15 regular negotiation sessions and one mediation session. Mediation was last week on March 14th. We did reach an agreement within that session that the union brought to their members on Saturday for vote, and it was approved by the members. So I believe you all received copies of the clean copy and redlined copy of those changes via email yesterday once we got the approved vote. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer any questions related to the changes.
Any questions on that? That's good. Good, that one mediation, that's good, save some money with just one mediation. Appreciate that, and folks did a good job, and that'll be good. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion approved. Second.
Further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Good. Number 11, land acquisition update.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Happy to report, after a lengthy process, we have closed and we are the proud owners of 2 parcels in the city of Wake Park.
How can you be proud if you bought
Yeah.
land?
You don't hear that much.
I tell you, there's signs flashing all over the place.
Okay.
We got rid of the mosquitoes.
Closed on the 2 parcels January 16th, and yeah, excited to move forward with the process of building a hub and all that entails. So just wanted to share that update, and yeah, we'll have more to come in the future. So.
Good. All right. And any questions on that, anyone? None. We'll go on to number 12, recognition of Metrobus ACEC award.
So with that, I'm delighted to share some exciting news. Our St. Cloud Metrobus project has been recognized with an Engineering Excellence Award from the American Council of Engineering Companies. The annual Engineering Excellence Award competition recognizes engineering firms for projects that demonstrate an exceptional degree of innovation, complexity, achievement, and value. This prestigious honor is a testament to the hard work, dedication, and innovation of our team. This award not only highlights our commitment to excellence, but also showcases the impact of collaborative efforts in creating sustainable and efficient transportation solutions for our community. I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to the entire Metrobus team for their outstanding achievement and to KLJ Engineering for their invaluable partnership and support throughout the process. Congratulations, Team Metrobus. Keep up the good work. So we have a few of the team members here, so you guys know the drill. Paula, you too.
You should go ahead and
You want to bring that for the picture?
Is that like a trophy?
Yeah.
Coming with money?
We'll talk about that budget time.
Engineering fee?
Ryan.
I'm just ripping the whole thing apart. So this is.
Nice.
So that, just to add to that, we actually received the award, so Gary, Michael, who am I missing? What are we missing? Paula, me, and Josh
is not here.
are the project team. And so we actually received this award in the
Whoa.
environmental category, which is a pretty, I don't know how you want to word it. It's hard to receive an award in the environmental category. And so we were pretty excited about that we were honored in that category. So.
Good. All right. We all-
Yeah.
Playing on the swamp once again.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it had something to do with the swamp.
Are we hiding?
Yeah, we're hiding.
Says
They
we
did
park
it,
at the
not
bottom,
us.
so you-
I didn't do
No,
it.
you guys have to come up for the picture.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Oh, yeah, good commission. Yeah. So I'll let you.
Yeah, you can't get out of it now.
Yeah, shoot.
Paula.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I wore a clean sweatshirt.
I wore my good shorts for it. First day of spring.
I'll stand in front of you. Yeah, stand in front of this ugly looking lady.
Wanna lay down here?
Yeah. With ugly legs.
All right, smiles, please. Thank you.
They're handling it. I'm
Yeah.
feeling more comfortable.
Kind of slippery, you know?
Well, that's cool. Then we will go on to department updates, procurement updates.
Yes, good afternoon, Commissioners. I was asked to provide a procurement department update today, so my apologies as always if some of this information overlaps from prior department updates, but public procurement has their fingers in everything, so that's the way it works. But anyway, start with some good news. We've been waiting for buses. We've had delays over the past several years, actually, with some of our bus production. Happy to say that we have 3 new Flyer fixed route buses that went into production, first bus today. So we have one going in starting online today, one tomorrow, and then one Thursday. Estimated line rate is 12 to 16 weeks to completion. So that's on schedule. The Minnesota Office of Transit has agreed to fund 3 additional fixed route buses for us for 2024. We're awaiting approval of the contract with them in order for us to move forward with speccing those and signing off on a PO on those buses. So, dial ride buses, small buses, we currently have 8 that are scheduled and in production, or will be in production at Arbach in Middlebury, Indiana, excuse me. These are actually 2020 buses. That's how long it's taken to get these online with the pandemic and then supply chain issues and and chassis delays, and it's just been one thing after another, and price increases that we had to renegotiate. So there's been a lot of delays over the years, so here we are 4 years later, we're finally getting some buses built, so.
You get a discount on a 2020 bus that doesn't get delivered till 2024?
Well, yeah, we'll be lucky. If we should see some by midsummer, but.
I mean, do you get a discount, I mean, do they, or is that at
Sorry?
the 2020 price or whatever?
Only gone up.
Only got up?
It's used. It's 4 years old, man.
Should be, you know?
Depreciation.
2020 until we
Yeah.
actually signed.
Appreciation, right?
So it
or
doesn't
a
depreciate,
contract
it
that-
appreciates.
Sorry. We saw about what was it, a 40% increase in our cost, roughly. So,
They say we know you ordered this in 2020, but you get the 2024 price.
Oh, is that?
You are one of the lucky ones.
Actually, that's a true statement, to be honest.
I wish.
And I'll get to some of that later. The first bus, we did a prototype of a pilot bus initially. That was initially scheduled to be about 90% complete by mid-December. So we were sent a team down there or we're going to send a team down to Arbach to do some inspections before Christmas time. That was the hope. We ended up not getting down there until a month later. And that bus is still not completed. It's currently sitting at A1 gas for its CNG engine conversion. There's delays there now. The A1 is waiting for the federal government to approve Ford's certification to certify their engine for conversion from gas to compressed natural gas. So that's allegedly going to be close being approved or completed, but we haven't given anything definitive yet, so definitive dates.
Are those the 2020 buses?
Those are still the 2020 buses.
It might be 2026.
It might be. Well, in that vein, we have only 5 of the 8 are in production right now. There's been a delay on the final 3. We haven't been given a reason what the delay is, but we've heard that there's going to be about a 3-week lag before they'll be able to go online. So it could be supply chain issues. We're not really sure. But the Office of Transit, they've approved funding for 8 additional buses for 2024, and we should see them in a couple of years. So we're waiting approval of their contract as well. So that's kind of the bus procurement update. On the positive side, we are making some progress, and it's been a long wait. We are replacing a hoist in our maintenance bays. That project has been awarded. We received minimal response to that solicitation. We only received 1 response. On the positive side or fortunate side, it was the contractor we worked with before. So they kind of know the drill. They'll be able to provide us with the hoist that we had preferred. So that's a good thing. That contract's been executed. Notice to proceed has been issued as well. There's delays, supply chain delays with that project too. So as of right now, the estimated start date for that project is August 1st. They don't anticipate us being able, or they being able to get the equipment we're going to need until sometime in July. So you see a lot of that in the industry ongoing. I have a vending machine request for proposal or solicitation that's been posted. That is currently due for proposals are due next Monday. I tried to line up as much competition as I could for that project. Unfortunately, St. Cloud has very limited offerings for that. I did a 75-mile search, to see if I could find other vendors that may have an interest in participating in this, but none of them service the St. Cloud area. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of response we receive, but we gave it a good try anyway. So, and hopefully we get a couple of proposals from the 2 big boys in town, and everybody here knows who they are. So. Some upcoming projects. We're going to be doing some upgrades to our compressed natural gas fueling compound. We have money set aside to add a 3rd compressor to the compressor compound. That'll allow us to if we have any breakdowns or any issues with some of our other compressors, we should be able to continue to fuel on a regular basis without any interruption. We're looking at the possibility of adding some heat to our outdoor fuel island here, or an indoor dispenser in our indoor fuel island. It gets pretty rough in the winter months for our fueling staff, and I know our maintenance department operations, they're looking to alleviate some of that outdoor, weather-related elements that they need to work in, especially through the December, January, February months. So we're looking at that, and then along with that, we're looking at the possibility of having a backup generator for those operations as well. If the power goes out, we're down, and we have no way to refuel our buses. So we're looking for options to be able to operate uninterrupted if we ever have a power outage that extends beyond a day's time. Other upcoming projects projects. Paul and I have been working on revising our procurement policies and procedures. To answer your question, Mayor Miller, the Minnesota Office of Transit had asked us, requested all of the Minnesota urban and rural systems to update their policies. And they reviewed all of our policies. We're looking for areas that we may have been a little negligent in with current language, stuff like that. So it actually turned out being a good process. We were able to add some language that we were missing. That's now required. So Paul and I have been working on a draft. We're going to bring that back to OTAT for their review, and then bring that to the commission here in April, in April's meeting for approval. A little more somber news. I participated in a couple of webinars. There was a roundtable discussion at the White House back on February 7th, and it had to do with the current state of bus manufacturing here in the U.S. We talked about some of the delays and problems, and this is a real serious issue that the highest levels of Congress are actually trying to address for public transit systems. In the last 11 years, large bus manufacturers have been reduced from, in the last 5 to 8 years, large bus manufacturers have been reduced from 11 to 2, and that's Gilligan New Flyer. And on the small bus body-on-chassis manufacturers, since 1999, or back in 1999, there were 22 or more body-on-chassis manufacturers. There's only 2 or 3 today. So, the industry buying power has been significantly reduced as a result of that. That's causing some of the price increases, some of the delays. Particularly the large bus manufacturers, they're pushing back and saying that, we can't sustain this anymore. And they are asking transit systems and Congress and the Federal Transit Administration to try to help them, stem the tide, I guess, and come up with, some other solutions other than what we've been doing for the past, 25 years. So there's been talk about, customization has been a problem for large bus manufacturers. They want to try to limit some of the customization that's being done with some of these buses. They threw out, there was one property that had 27 different shades of white on the interior of their vehicle. And that made no sense. Another property had 95 different types of glass that they used on their buses. So it's creating additional costs for these manufacturers to try to source these different products and different items. And the money they're putting forward now for the EV buses, the EV market has changed. The bus manufacturing industry, with just from a parts design, maintenance, and just the general engineering, it's been changes that weren't anticipated, 2 or 3 years ago. And so these large bus manufacturers, they have to outlay the money up front for these buses. And a base price for an electric bus right now, a 40-foot electric bus, is about $1.5 million. So they're outlaying that money for systems that are ordering hundreds of these buses. And with the delays in supply chain and manufacturing, they're outlaying this money for like a 3-year period. And they said they just can't sustain this financially anymore. So they're asking for help. There was some recommendations made during this discussion about possible progress payments There was one scenario thrown out where they said, well, you know, we would request systems to pay 15% of the total cost up front, with another 35 once the batteries are dropped in the bus, so to speak, so about halfway through the build, and then the remaining amount once the buses are delivered. The issue with that is a lot of the state DOTs have statutes that don't allow for progress payments on purchases like that, particularly in public procurement. So that's something that's still being debated, and they're going to see if that's even going to be a feasible option or not. There was a request made to relax some of the Buy America requirements for public transit buses, but that request was quickly rejected. So I guess, you know, Buy America is going to be a sticky subject to get around. There was a suggestion made to offer more joint procurements. So meaning that, you know, we buy our small buses off the state procurement contract. We buy our large buses through a contract that the Duluth Transit Authority had negotiated. So, you know, we're kind of ahead of the game, or in the game with that in that area. There's a lot of systems around the country that don't have that option. So, you know, because of the reduction in the buying power, if we can combine or, you know, do joint contracts, they're hoping that rather than receiving these orders of, you know, 2-3 buses, you know, that we can bundle more together, and hopefully they'll help bring some of the costs down and make the market a little bit more competitive as well, especially with the limited options. So that's kind of the headlines on that. So if there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Questions? Very, very interesting. I appreciate that.
Gary, on the generator, is that eligible for federal or state money somehow?
It's possible.
Okay.
You know, when we put out the RFP, it's going to be for an architectural engineering firm to oversee the entire project. And then we're going to let them manage the project for us. So they'll hire any general contractors that would be needed. But also, during this first wave, we want them to tell us, okay, here's what we feel would be the best options for you guys to utilize. And if there are any rebates or any types of you know, funding available for that, you know, hopefully they're going to be able to help walk us through that. So.
And then just,
The
I'm sorry, go ahead.
overall project is 80% funded by federal funds.
It is, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then just a quick question, and I should know this answer because I've been out there before. I know how much work everybody does when you get the new buses in. You pretty much disassemble them and put them back together to get the electronics, et cetera, in those. How long does it take to get, how long would it take to get a regular bus and the smaller buses going?
Get them commissioned
Yeah,
for
to get them.
service?
I mean, obviously, when you get the 8 buses in at one time, or 5 or whatever it is, you can't get them all out at once. So you tear them apart and pretty much redo them inside and outside with cameras, etc. How long does it take to get the dial-a-ride buses, for instance, small buses?
Yeah, well, under contract, both small buses and large buses, we have 30 days to do our inspections and get our buses commissioned.
Once you get them here?
Once we get them here, and then final payment is made after those 30 days. So we try to work within that window. So if there's any warranty issues, you know, we can get those addressed before we cut that final check. But there have been many scenarios. Dave's aware of this, where we've had to extend beyond that. So yeah, it
So
all
hopefully-
depends on what we run into.
You don't get that many you don't get 5 buses at one time, though, typically, do you?
Not typically.
Okay.
I mean, that's the preference, but.
Because I've seen what you do out there, and if you got 8 buses at once, how would you make that 30-day cut?
That would be difficult.
I mean,
If
I
we
didn't
know
know
they're
that.
coming,
Okay.
we kind of do everything we possibly can to
Okay.
make sure that we're ready.
because you put the cameras and everything in here, or they come that
No,
way
they
now?
come-
They're
they
coming
come
that way now?
this way.
Okay.
There are some electronics that we do install
Okay.
here once they arrive. Bus graphics, you know, Nate in marketing
Right.
coordinates all of that. Sometimes that can take some time, depending on how easily we're able to you know, get the vendor lined up. So.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Back on the generator, if we lose power here, do we have a generator that kicks power in at this building?
Yes.
Can we tap it off into that one or not? It's
That's
not big
something,
enough?
that's something we're going to look into.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're not sure if it's going to be able to handle that type of capacity.
Yeah.
But what we could possibly do is maybe, as an example, not power the administrative offices, and maybe we could divert some of that power to the, because we'd only need one compressor, operable compressor to fuel. It would be a little slower, but we could continue to fuel. So the issue is not being able to fuel at all, so.
So when you, on these, how does that warranty work when you get a bus that was manufactured in 2020? So it's Dave. They run out of warranty before they get here?
Yeah, right.
The issue with that has been chassis related, and I had it in my notes, I didn't touch on it, but somebody posed the question during one of the webinars, why can't the federal government force Ford to manufacture, more chassis, more vehicles for buses? And, in their market, the cars, the vans, the SUVs, the trucks, that's where they're making their money. Actually, chassis that they make for cutaway buses is less than 1% of their business. So there's no motivation for them to increase production, and they've already have said that they have no intention to increase production, so.
I'm going to clarify something too. The funding for the buses was in 2020. The buses were built, so it's not like they've been sitting in production since 2020. The funding for the buses has been set since 2020, but they were just built now. So it's just taken that long.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that's better clarification. I thought you're getting 2020 buses.
Yeah. no,
Same thing's happening
that's what
with
when you
fire
asked the
trucks.
question, I'm like, the
Yeah.
Yeah, I
clarification.
misunderstood that.
The buses
Actually, I'd hate
were
to
ready to
see-
be replaced, so our buses are that old, so Mike and his team have pretty much Band-Aided. I mean, our buses
Yeah.
need to be replaced, and they should have been replaced at that point. The funding has been in place for the buses to be replaced since 2020. The buses are new and
Well, we're
are
getting
built
a-
in '24.
We're getting a better deal. That 2020 bus would be obsolete. You're getting a 2025 bus.
Yeah.
The technology upgrades.
Would have been 40% cheaper though.
That price.
And that's going to be the issue with the 8 buses that we have, appropriated for this year. We don't know that we can get chassis from Ford to be able to build those buses. So, more than likely it's going to be next year at a best case scenario, but it could be 2 years out before we see those buses go into production. So.
Okay.
So,
Any other?
yeah, getting back to what you said too, so that the buses, as they build them, is there a problem with the funding that they were funded back in 2020 then, or they're well aware of it?
I've already done an extension to the
Oh.
funding. Yeah.
And they're okay with that? I mean, if you can't get the buses.
Well, right now, I've done an extension to the grants for that funding through '25.
Okay,
If I need to do a second extension, I'll do
Okay.
that. Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on things, and yeah, I've already
right.
written.
Because now we get the buses and they, oh, sorry, that expired.
Yeah, it isn't too bad for you, yeah. no,
I'm
yeah,
moving out of
just keep
town.
an eye on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, depending on some regions or states, they've seen upwards of 80%, in some cases 100% increase in their bus costs. That's unbelievable.
All right, well, thanks for the update. Any other business?
Just a reminder that the bus for the St. Cloud Day at the Capitol leaves at 3 o'clock at the North Star Lane parking lot on Highway 10. 3:15, thank you, Dave. The 3:15.
All right.
And it'll be back, it'll leave the Capitol at 7:15 and come back to St. Cloud.
All right, anything else?
I'll be there at 3.
Any, we have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, motion to adjourn. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned at 4:02.